Right, so let's do a little recap. So I think we're on session number 6 now. It's going pretty damn quick. In the last episode, the group had finally wrapped up their adventure for the Halflings by investigating all of the houses they were requested to do so. They were attacked at the beginning of the last session as well by the Hargans, who were trying to get a boat back, which it turns out that the Halflings had stolen. But toward the end of the sessions, the Halflings seemingly had blackmailed the other noble houses using the information gathered by the group to become one of the new noble families, replacing the old Tugans, who were burned at the stake for being heretics some while ago. Now, the group have agreed to go on a trial for the Halflings in order to join a select little club. And a couple of days after the previous session, they were requested to meet come nightfall, just coming up to 11 o'clock-ish. And here we are at the docks with a guest this week, who is Chris. Hi, Chris.
Howdy.
Cool.
Hi, Chris.
And also this week, I will be playing the role of Oleg, and I hope I do him proud while he is AFK. Right, and on that note, the group arrive at their destination and are greeted by two small figures with a taller third, currently robed and hooded, with a fair amount of rain currently pitter-pattering down on top of your heads, and a thick, thick mist in your surroundings. Ah, greetings, hello. Good to see you again.
Hallo, Marchvik.
Good to see you. Let us introduce to you Mr. Leclerc, one of our agents. Well, your trial is to take care of him for the evening.
Entschuldigung, but the job you didn't specify what do you mean by taking care of.
We have some instructions written here for you. At this point, he hands you a piece of paper, and this is currently rolled up, and gives it to you to begin with. It's a sort of small envelope, and opening it up, it appears to be handwritten. I'll give it to you in a second as a journal entry for everyone. And
one issue with this.
I roll it
Nobody here
up.
can read.
Yeah, and I roll it up and I just pretend, Aha, I can't read. And I give it to Shauna.
Ah, yes, quite. I really do understand what you're saying. I also cannot read. And hand it to Rogel.
luckily for you, the short one can. Now, we'll leave you in their company, Mr. Leclerc. Just make sure you get the job done. Gives you a nod, a wink, a handshake, and the two halflings walk off.
Wait, before they go, even if they start going, I wanna run after them and request if they can find out something about the Rook Brooders now that they have some sort of position of power.
What do you
Come to us later. We're going to be going back to the pie store for now to eat and relax for the evening, but anything you need done, we'll look into it.
I'll keep your word for it.
Indeed. Don't you worry, my darling. Once you've completed your test, everything you need will be provided. Now, shoo, hurry along. And on that note, you are... There you go.
Also, while we're waiting for that mysterious note, I walk up to Leclerc and, Hallo, guten... What time of day is it?
Pitch black.
Pitch black. Guten Nacht, hallo Leclerc, and I extend my hand.
I kind of just pull down my hood so you can see my face. As you can see in my portrait, beautiful, slightly graying on the top, hair moving back, some bright spectacles on the front, and a very, very bushy mustache. But I
Say the line.
Yeah, you have to say the line.
No.
Yeah.
Bruder, he has a mustache like mine. Hello, nice to
maybe
meet
you can intertwine the mustaches, Bruder, and you will get +10 to weapon skill test.
No. Nice to meet you, though. And Oleg walks up to you to shake your hand.
I'm being double greeted, so I will shake both hands.
This is nice.
Rogel, can you read out loud what the note says?
Take your boat along the Ossodam to the Old Tugan Pier. Underneath it, you will find an open entrance to the sewers. Once inside the sewers, escort Mr. Leclerc, said Leclerc, I can't read this handwriting sometimes, to the designated location marked on the back of this message. There, you will find a fallen pillar with a hole in the wall. Mr. Leclerc will use this concealed tunnel to wriggle inside the most isolated prison cell of the guard barracks. He will then assume the identity of the current occupant and convince or force back through the hole for you to look after. Caution, he is currently not of sound mind. While you restrain this individual, Mr. Leclerc will use his acting skills to portray a rare lucid moment and confess to a very particular story we have concocted. Once this is done, transcribed and signed, Mr. Leclerc will then leave again via the tunnel, and the original occupant will be returned to the cell. Once this is done, we suggest you block the exits, though we don't expect he has the will to leave on his own accord. Then feel free to swing by for a free pie, after you've cleaned yourselves, of course.
Wonderful. Bruder, are you excited you will get to drive your boat?
Yeah, we get to go all the way from here to over there. And points to about 50 yards in the distance. Not a particularly long journey.
But Bruder, don't worry. It is not the journey that matters. It is after the journey. And preferably we get to keep our lives, considering where we're going is quite dangerous. But Mr. Leclerc, who is this individual that we are supposed to, assist? And I look at you very cautiously.
Mr. Leclerc at this point recalls that it is top secret.
Alright, well, we have our orders. Let's go.
It is a shame.
Come on, into the boat! And Oleg points over to your side, and Matchwick and Candlewick had actually agreed to meet by the boat of Oleg as he rushes to enter his new boat and proudly shows it off to everyone. You've likely been introduced to it already over the past couple days, but he gives you a full tour. This is where you sit, and this is where I will row. This is the rudder.
Entschuldigung, Mr. Leclerc, what is your specialty?
Oh, I find myself pretty handy with a crossbow, but some may call me a man of many faces.
Perfect. That is very good.
Okay. And with that, Oleg pushes off with one of his oars. Bruder, would you like to take the other oar?
Yeah, Bruder.
You can row together, it would be nice.
Some Bruder time. Okay,
While they're rowing, can I analyze if Leclerc has anything useful? Anything anything of worth on himself?
Make an insight check. No, make a perception check. Perception check, yeah.
Perception?
And minus 30, because he's currently wearing a robe, and it's pouring down with rain.
And it's pitch black.
Right, yeah.
Poke your damn eyes out.
Oleg accidentally whacks you with the oar while you're trying to get a view. Oh, sorry. And, right. Bruder, you do it a bit like this, hold it like that. Come on, heave! Heave!
Wow, that's an excellent roll.
Yeah. The boat sails out with ease, with Oleg leading the way and Grimwald following his instructions, and you silently make your way along without a bit of noise. It's pouring down and the boat is sort of very slowly filling with a small quantity of water, which occasionally Oleg sort of gets a little cup. Oh, get out, this is new. And you make your way underneath a large pier. There are a few lights around you at this point in time. You can see some guard patrolling, but with the quantity of mist, once you're on the waterway moving along, no one seems to take any notice of you. Now, you move underneath a large structure, some 18 foot high. This is one of the larger piers that basically used to belong to the Teugans. It's largely closed now. There are still some ships attached, and that are currently docked and moored here, but the place is abandoned. You quietly drift your vessel underneath, and you can see a cylindrical entrance to the sewers of a sort of concrete entrance, perhaps 10 to 12 feet wide, with metal girders at the exit, but in the corner you can notice that one side has been peeled back and an entrance lies. So Oleg rows the boat up to this point, pulls out some rope and starts to fasten it. Already you can pick up on the smell of pungent feces, basically, and just anything you would expect to be in the sewers. It's pretty disgusting, and with the rainfall as well, it's flowing out rather quick.
Shauna, it smells like you.
I slapped Grimwald on the back of the head just to shut him up.
Okay.
Three Stooges.
Also, could I perhaps use some piece of my other changes of clothes, like the apron from the maid outfit, to act as a sort of a gas mask to at least somewhat protect me from the smell? Just put it around my nose and...
You certainly can. You can tie up a piece of clothing around your face to protect yourself a little bit from the rather putrid smells that are coming out of this vicinity.
I'd like to do the same and put on my mask.
Okay. Oh, I should probably announce at this point that Grimwald has a new token as well. And so if anyone's wondering where Jesus came from...
It is Jesus.
That is Grimwald. Now, making your way into this entrance, I'm assuming you guys climb on in.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So
very reluctantly, though.
The sewer itself, this pipeline, is made of an 18-inch wide walkway either side of a central canal, which is flowing rather quickly currently, like a sort of a small stream. And you can see it's mostly rainwater, so if anything, the water is probably doing you guys a little bit of a favour by, let's say, moving along what might normally get a little congested in here. There is a thick layer of slime on the walkways, and a degree of care needs to be taken when moving forwards. You get the impression, if you were to move at any pace bar a walking pace, that you may slip, or there may be danger of slipping. So you will be moving in single file, and you have a little map on the back of this piece of paper which points you to where you need to go. It's quite straightforward. You basically go forwards, and then you'll take 2 turns, and you'll be at the destination. So it's not, although at long distance, it's not particularly complex for this particular journey. At this point, Oleg turns on his storm lantern. I've not used this before. Well, not in a while anyway. And the chamber is lit up. He's able to shine it forward some 20 or 30 feet. And at this point, Oleg and Rogel have a slightly better view, having night vision as a character trait. You're able to make out a little bit further than the other characters. So at this point, moving forward, Oleg will take the lead. What's going to be the marching order?
My brother last, the wizard user, the sorcerer guy in the middle, because we wouldn't want him getting killed if we sort of get attacked from the back.
I have good eyesight from working on the boats.
Well, okay, how about this?
At this point,
I go in
Oleg
the
pulls
back.
out his character sheet and points to night vision.
Okay. How about this, brother? I go in the back. Shauna can go in the middle along with Rogel and Leclerc, and you go in the front. Yeah?
It sounds good.
Okay, brother. Glad we can reach.
Now, As you move forwards, you carefully take your steps along this walkway and come some 50 yards further down. With the occasional offshoot left and right, you come to a narrowing where, of this 18-inch walkway, half of it has crumbled away. At this point, I'm going to ask everyone to make an athletics test with plus 20 to see if you're able to make your way across.
Athletics.
Athletics with a plus 20.
Success!
Why is my athletics so shit? Success?
I forgot I'll have to be rolling for... Oh my god. Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. Oleg as well. Right. Well, Oleg is going to stick with it. So at this point...
What about Leclerc?
Oh yeah, Leclerc. If you click your token...
I made it.
Oh, you made
Succeeded.
it. Oh, good man.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Don't forget to change his name into, because it's just...
Groovy. Right, and on that note, right, back to it. So, while moving forwards and across this narrow piece of brickwork, Oleg manages to lose his footing and falls into the water. Fortunately, it is only 4 foot deep, which is fortunate for him, rather, as he lands on his feet, but covered in a putrid mess. Thorn, however, you're going to have to make another athletics test that will count as a swim, but you're going to be assisted by Oleg, who's in the water with you. So I'm going to give you a plus 20, because basically he's stood up. There you go.
Nice.
So...
Get it off me!
He catches you like a cat by the end of your neck.
Yep, so after Thorn has basically dunked under and fully submerged, Oleg quickly lays a hand on you and sort of pulls you back up. Now at this point, the storm lantern has gone out and will take a while to dry, as basically it's covered in, well, shit.
Okay.
Bruder, you should be more careful when walking around these types of places. It is dangerous. Look what you've done to the storm lantern. Now we have no light source.
Oh, it was very slippery.
And at this point, he's sort of clambering his way up.
I have some matches.
And he's going to pull out from a pouch a match.
Do you have anything we can light?
Yeah, my farts. And I just
That is not helpful, Bruder.
I would not like to light any fires where shit is.
You are all just worried for no reason whatsoever, and I pull out my torch.
Okay.
And give it to my bruder.
He lights it with a match.
I take cover, just in case.
The flame does flicker a little bit, but it seems currently fairly stable. The fire burns quite brightly, a little brighter than you would expect, but no one's exploded right now. Now, on this note, I would like Oleg, and I will roll this, and Thorn to roll a plus 20 endurance test.
This is where shit happens.
Quite literally, Shauna.
That was the joke.
Oof.
Nice.
Okay. Yep, both of you come out of the water, feeling a little woozy from the smell, but otherwise feeling relatively okay. Resisting the urge to vomit and pull yourself together. And
Sean, come here! Give me a hug!
Fuck off.
The halflings have screwed me again.
As Rogel crawls towards Shauna with her cloth gas mask.
I run away.
Don't worry, Monsieur Leclerc. This
Also-
short one, and I sort of tap Rogel on the head. He is to be, well, he's better. He will not screw you over if you give him proper coin.
You mentioned you got screwed over by the halflings again. Do you mind telling us what happened before?
They just don't always give me all the information. They certainly didn't tell me how colorful you all were.
That's not even the beginning of it.
I'm all sorts of
Guys.
colors now. Look at me, Bruder.
Yeah, me
Bruder,
too. It's like a rainbow of greens and browns.
Mama would be so proud of us where we are now.
Can we like hurry up?
That's
Kanna's
probably
just
a good idea.
feeling very distracted and very annoyed because she needs to be here.
Shauna enjoys this fragrance. This is the pure life of Bogenhaffen. And I sort of
See,
tap her on the back.
Grimwald, please enjoy my foot up your ass.
Seeing further excuse to keep her down here longer. Leclerc, have you ever seen magic?
Surprise me, little man.
Just making sure.
I've seen him play with shadows. It's very pretty.
And
Yeah.
Oleg starts to walk forward. Oh, at this point, Oleg pauses for a second and puts his hand into her jacket and pulls out a small wheel of cheese.
Oh, this is probably fun.
And he pulls out 2 little pieces, rolls them together in his fingers, and stuffs them up his nose.
Would you like some cheese?
Can I get 4 pieces of cheese? Actually, make that 5.
One for your ass.
One, 2 for my nose, 2 for my ears, and 1 for my bum hole.
Sure.
It hands you
Don't
the
do
rest.
it.
Hands the rest of the cheese.
I will start to move ahead.
Wait, do not go without me.
I'm only
And they sort
going
of put-
very slowly, don't worry.
At this point, he's inching forward like 2 inches at a time, just with his arms close to the wall and torch out in front. And am I right in assuming the rest of you follow?
Yep.
Okay. So the remainder of the journey is a little less eventful. Occasionally you need to cross over, and there are some small walkways which lead from one side of the sort of central canal to the others. Eventually there's a sort of interjoining section where there is no canal, so there's the occasional corridor going back and forth. You don't need to use these as such, as you're going straight ahead, taking a right and then a right. But with the map in hand, let's make a navigation test for Oleg. And this is a relatively...
Can we assist him?
Yeah. He'll pause for a second with the map at one of the junctions.
Bruder, do you think this is a left or a right? Oh,
Bruder, and I sort of mix up my rights and lefts for a moment. Yeah, that is where we need. This is right.
yeah, that sounds good. Carry on.
Leclerc, we're fucked.
Is this the magic you were speaking about?
Yeah, exactly.
So-
It's entrancing, isn't it?
The magic of stupidity?
So moving forward...
Kanna is still annoyed.
This is some-
Rogel, when can you disappear from my life?
Well, I
Real
mean,
soon.
you can disappear from everybody's life by just killing yourself.
As soon as I see something that'll kill you, I'm pretty sure I will.
Okay. So you keep moving forward for some 20-30 minutes or so. It's not particularly eventful other than the initial narrow passageway. Rogel, while you're down here, make me a perception test, please.
Can we all do it, or
No,
is it
just Rogel.
Wow.
You
Nice.
You pause for a second and stand still, just sort of observing your surroundings, and you notice the winds of magic down here are perhaps a little stronger. You would have seen this sort of sensation before, but basically all casting rolls down here will get +10. As the winds of magic seem strangely a little stronger than they were above.
Alright, carry on. Don't need to tell him.
Now you
really puts the old brain muscles for a jog in it.
Yes. The brain muscle was clenching a little.
So, you carry on moving forward until you finally take a turn. And as you do, Oleg
Bruder, what is that?
points in front of him at something that seems to be suspended from the ceiling. Now, Oleg at this point is going to make a perception test to see what he can actually make out of here. Now, each of you have a different vision range, but hopefully the map has switched.
It's a switched.
Wunderbar.
Right.
I see a penis-shaped thing next to me.
Now, at this point, Oleg is going to make
the torch.
a perception test with flat test.
Bruder, there's a dangly thing over there. Let's go have a look.
Yeah, Bruder, let's go.
So, Oleg moves forward, and as you step forwards, you can notice that there appears to be a body suspended from the ceiling, caught on something by the foot. Beneath it, though, are two particularly large rats, which are currently competing with each other in order to basically compete to try and bite this thing. And with that, the rats notice your approach, and combat has started. Shauna, it's your go. Currently in front of you are two rats trying to clamber toward a body.
Right here. I can barely see them, correct?
Yep, they're around there. You vaguely... that's kind of what you know, at least. But they have acknowledged your presence, and one's turned to head towards you and squeaks.
I'm gonna move around here. That's 12. If my dynamic lighting would change, that would be great.
It will when you move.
Never mind. I did. Never mind. So I can move one more because that was false. This is 14.
Yep.
And
this rat will technically
and
be on
slash.
this square. So, yep, you can jump in, try and slash the thing.
Yeah. Let me just... With the hand held by that Grumble.
The rat's going to attempt to defend itself. Not particularly well.
Modifiers? No.
Nope. No mods. Actually, you're outnumbered, technically. But that's fine. Because I forgot. And that one is the other side of a dead body, so I'll allow this. You do hit, and you probably do enough to kill it. So you're going to do a base of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is definitely enough to end this poor rat.
Yeah, that's my turn.
It's a hard life. Oleg at this point,
Shauna, come back.
is going to move forwards and do the same. He's going to... Oh, why didn't I make macros for him?
That's a macro for the Storm Lantern, just so you know, on the initiative order.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Storm Lantern. Yeah, it's a token, so it gets its own initiative. Oleg quickly rushes back.
Sorry. Not my turn yet.
The lantern just starts walking on itself.
Yeah. Right, and with that, the rat next to Shauna is going to step around the body and take a little chomp back at Shauna. And it's going to charge you, so it does gain an advantage. So I didn't give you the advantage last time, which I should have. So it's going to have a mod of 10. However, you did charge and did also kill a mob and also hit. So you have 3 advantage right now. So plus 30. Oh.
Okay, do I roll just...
a basic melee with plus 30.
Yeah.
-3, but against -4. So, fortunately, you are able to parry the rat to one side. Now, the next rat is going to take its go and also charge up towards Shauna and repeat the same. Now, you did win the previous test, so you get plus 40 this time, but the rat will get an outnumbering bonus. And...
roll. So that's
Pow.
plus 4. Yes.
Eep. We finally...
I'm gonna reroll.
You're going to re-roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That one's a good hit.
22 or bust.
I don't know if you're gonna beat a plus 6.
67.
Yeah.
Well, that was better, so you take less damage as a result. So the rat is doing... so you got... Oh, you got 0. Right, okay. So the rat is going to do 12 damage. What are you wearing on your body currently? A jerkin, if I remember?
I'm a jerkin and metal leggings.
Okay. So
Which
he's
I
basically
didn't put in my thing.
he's basically
Of
bit
course.
you on the body though. So that will be 1 armor plus your toughness.
It's free.
3. Okay. So that will be a 8 damage to you. So that is ouch. 40 minus 8.
That's
There we go. Yep. And on to the next go. This rat is going to try and flank.
Me?
It's going to charge the others. There we go. It's going to charge into OLED, who's carrying the light, and make a attack. And this attack will be with a +10. I have to roll for OLED as well. Oh boy. Oh boy. I should have done a roll actually to decide who he attacked. I'll do that next time. Right, and we're going...
We fought bigger things, and now we're all gonna get a TPK from rats.
It would seem that way.
Goddamn
mean-
plague.
Come on, there's the roll. Oh boy. Oh my god. Is Oleg going to... Oleg's going to re-roll that. Oleg's going to re-roll that. So 1 re-roll expended. There we go, +3 against +2. Oh boy. Okay, Oleg has gained 1 advantage. The rat is on 0. Okay, and now it is Mr. Leclerc to go.
Just what's the range on my crossbow?
5 squares, basically. Not too far, but you can shoot further. There's just a slight penalty. So you could shoot it up to 10 squares. There would just be a slight penalty.
I'll come over to here and take a shot at the rat near to Siona.
Yep. Okay. So you now have a choice. You can voluntarily choose not to hit Shauna for -20 to hit, or you can just shoot and it'll be 50-50. The choice is yours.
I kind of want to check my stats to see what the odds.
Well, you'll basically get for the range you're at, you'll get a +10, and so you'd basically have a -10 to aim in total. Unless
I trust in my ability to hit the rat.
Okay, so you're
boy.
just going to fire a
God,
blind shot.
How I die.
We'll call it a 1 in 3 chance because there's 3 of them engaged in melee. So make a roll. As there is a group of them, you'll get +30. Okay.
Bye, y'all.
The shot goes wide,
It's been fun.
thankfully. There is a re-roll mechanic, and you have 3 re-rolls per session. So the choice is yours as to when you want to use them.
You know what? I'll take a reroll. It didn't go well the first time, but you gotta believe, right?
1 re-roll
Yeah.
coming up.
The modifier was 30.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go. Hot dang. Okay. So I'm gonna roll 1d3 for you, or you can type /1d3. The /roll space 1d3. Right, now I hadn't allocated which one was which, so now...
Do it again.
Yeah, roll... Wait 1 second for me, though. Shauna will be 1, because that's the bad one. The other 2 will be rats. So roll 1 more time.
That's gonna roll a 1 and Shauna's
It's
dead.
gonna
I
be
will
a
allow
1.
this to be re-rolled. Oof.
Oh,
You take off the rat behind, who was just about to nibble at Shauna. A good hit.
He already nibbled at me.
Rogel, it's you to go.
oh man, seeing my compatriots get hit pretty bad here. I'm gonna defer my turn. I'm gonna hide back here.
You're going to wait for now. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Right, Oleg to go. Oleg is going to swing back at the rat and make an attack. So he's going to do a attack with +10 because he has parried away 1... Oh, we'll go not for a dagger, but for a hand weapon this time. A good hit, and in return, the rat is not so good. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is just enough to yeet it in one. So Oleg on this point is going to have 3 advantage now. And it's Grimval to go.
Okay. Seeing as only the one that's left is next to Sean, I'm just gonna yell, Shauna, next time do not run out by yourself! And I'm going to charge at this one. I would get the flanking plus outnumbered bonus, right?
You will indeed. So that'll be a plus 40 and a plus 10 for charge. Plus 50.
Yep. Plus 50. 1 second. Roll
Yikes.
50. Now I probably stab myself.
Oh!
My god.
I'm gonna roll that because just...
Pretty good roll from the rat.
How?
You hit the
Trevor
rat.
can summon his own knife.
This is actually quite
Plus
a
4.
small rat, so
SL.
you managed to in one. The rat is no more, and combat is over.
Yay.
Yay.
We
I'm
live.
alive.
That was a big rat.
A piece of my stomach is missing now because I got nibbled
Let's look
by a
around
rat.
for stuff.
I sort of go, Bruder, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I managed to kill the rat. It was big. Did you see it?
Yeah, Bruder, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, I chopped it
I'm
in
just
half.
falling in pain.
Shauna, is everything okay?
No.
Oh dear.
Wait, 1 moment. What is this?
From the ceiling, caught by the ankle in a drain above your head, with the ankle snapped in half more or less, so it's sort of a 90-degree angle, is a body suspended from the ceiling. Hat fallen off of his head onto the floor, and arms obviously dangling free.
Is the hat fancy?
No.
Or...
Fancy,
what if it's
fancy
clothes?
enough, but not anything you'd write home about, but it's fairly nice.
And what about his clothing?
His clothing is dark, unusually so, and sort of a mixture of greys and blacks, and appears to be semi-robed, but it's sort of a bit like a cloak that is currently suspended, and a dark sort of shirt and trousers underneath.
Can we sort of like...
Can I detect artifact on it?
You can. You don't see anything of note on this character in a magical sense. As far as you can see of this individual, the thing that stands out when looking at it is his throat has been slit, and beneath is a nice pool of blood.
Can we pull the body down because you said it's from a drain?
You can.
Hanging?
It'll make a crunch and a few awkward noises as you shift it loose from up above you. So you pull the body down, and what are you going to do with it? Other than...
Can I inspect the wound closer? Like, is it... what was I going to say? Like, does it come from a weapon? Or...
It looks like a clean cut of the throat. This is fairly obvious, so no test required. It seems to have been a blade or a dagger or something like that.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna loot the body.
I slap her hand as she attempts to, and I say, "Not yet." And I toss her a copper coin just so she can wait.
I'll take the robes in exchange for whatever it is I'm wearing right now, covered in goop.
They'll be
Does
a
he
bit big
have
for
any
you.
insignia?
Insignia on his current clothing? Not that you can tell. There's no obvious markings demonstrating where he would come from on his external person.
Shauna, pick up the coin, please.
I have no idea how to do that.
Right click and click take.
Ah. Thank you.
Okay. Leclerc, do you by chance know this individual?
I've never seen him before in my life.
Hmm.
So it's not the guy we're supposed
Can
to...
we inspect the clothing for anything inside the clothing?
Can indeed. You can have a rummage through, and no test required. This is quite obvious stuff. You do notice a blood stain weirdly placed on the inside of his jacket pocket. There is a certain quantity of blood that seems to be there, but looking through the clothing there is no wound underneath, so the conclusion would be he had something bloodied in his pocket, as the blood seems to be somewhat pooled inside. He also has, looking at his body and person, a degree of blood going from his fingers up to his forearms each side.
Can we all, like, if anybody's like assisting, can we detect any sort of oddities on him?
Well, those are pretty big oddities.
That is the only thing that stands out in particular, but rummaging through the corpse, you do find a small personal artifact or item with a... Let's have a general knowledge test to see if you recognise this. It's an emblem that seems to be Imperial. Has anyone got Lore Reichland?
Oof.
It looks really familiar, but you can't quite remember which town this is. You know it's a nearby town, or one around the Reichland, but you're not sure which exactly.
I'm gonna pocket.
Yep.
I'm just gonna pocket and keep it in handy.
Okay.
Now
I might ask
loot
you
the
later
body?
for that emblem.
What?
I might ask you later for that emblem if we don't need it.
Yeah.
Now can I loot the body?
That's everything on the body.
That's everything on the body. Yeah.
You can take some of the blood out of his pocket that's sort of congealed a little bit, but
Now this guy's creeped me out. I think we need to move forward cautiously.
Yeah. I keep myself alert at all times.
You should be
Okay.
at the front. You're the only thing that can kill anything.
Yeah.
I should say, in case the drain wasn't too apparent, it was that it would appear that he was probably pushed through it and got snagged falling down.
Ooh.
That would be what you would assume, having seen this suspended from the ceiling.
It seems like somebody had a really bad poo-poo.
God. This guy.
Okay.
Pringle, forgive me for pairing up with
Let's
him.
kick him out again.
Bruder, maybe we should move forward.
Yeah,
This is giving me the willies.
Wanna hold hands, Bruder?
As long as you don't mind the smell.
9.
Oh, let me bring my torch.
So, starting to step forwards, another rat is spotted in the distance, but this one spies you and flees, moving away.
I give it the middle finger.
Lets out a little squeak. And
Yeah, you better run.
Oleg.
Bruder, do you think we should pose as horses?
I don't know. Does that work?
I'm just gonna try and attempt like does it so it echoes throughout the entire
You do hear a
More like
couple
an
of
ass
squeaks
than
in
a horse.
response. To the noise, there is a little bit of a rustle in the background, but you're not exactly sure what.
Why did we
can
bring him? Leclerc?
I didn't choose who I was bringing.
At this point, Oleg is waving around his lantern.
Bruder, let me have a little look. Oh, it seems to say fairly safe down there. Oh, boy.
And starts to walk along, looking and referencing at the map.
Yes, Bruder?
Bruder, can we go over there first?
You want to go over there? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I will lead the way.
Let us check every nook and cranny.
Every nook and granny.
There is a point
Yeah.
where it seems that the map ends, and the walkway is too narrow to walk through.
So it's a dead end.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
it's like we're being railroaded.
Oh, Bruder, you're speaking such familiarities.
Okay.
Damn, I didn't know I wasn't the only one interested in men here.
Brother, you're standing on me. It's hard to select
Bruder,
my
we
token.
switched places. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, stepping through here, Oleg spies by his side a series of metal bars that form a gate. It's not necessarily the signposted place you are destined to go, but observe this. It seems to be a closed-off section with a iron lock on it.
Do the gates open? Like I try to open them?
You give them a rustle. They appear to be locked.
Okay.
There's a typical sort of bolt, latch, and padlock.
Well, we might explore this part one day or another.
Can you smash the door open, little mage?
No. The little mage is such a lock.
You can certainly unlock it if you wish.
Perhaps I can help you. I actually have a thing for. I definitely have lockpicks, but I don't have a.
You do have a skill
shortcut
for it.
Lockpicking.
Yeah, if you do a dexterity test, so basically on your character sheet, if you click on dex in the characteristics and do a +20 for it.
Tinkle with your tinkling
Oh,
with
boy.
your dinklings there.
He's
Nice.
good.
Nice.
He's good. With a little nudge of the finger, the lock just pings open.
Look at the flick of the wrist.
And the gate
Magic.
is now ajar.
Buddha, do you say we go in and take a little peek?
Well, I don't know. It depends if there's more rats down there.
I mean, would you like a rat porridge?
I'm going in last.
Yeah, you go.
But the mission is this way, but I guess we could explore.
Well, Mr. Leclerc opened it, so I guess he knows what he...
Okay.
It's
Does he
true.
move the bars?
Yep, you can open the gate and it moves open.
Oh, this is very exciting. I'm an explorer. I've always wanted to explore.
The stairs seem to lead down into a tunneled network. Not quite sewers anymore, but a sort of passageway. And with that, we will load another map. Start recording. Okay, so making your way down a narrow corridor and stairs, you take a right, and Rogel, at this point, you can notice the winds of magic behaving very peculiarly. They're behaving in a peculiar manner. Oh, words are hard. What you can notice in front of you is it's almost the effect of the winds being sucked in through a small gap in the brickwork to your left and sort of disappearing inside, well, wherever this may lead. Oleg at this point is walking forwards and hasn't seemed to have noticed anything.
So can I just clarify? So you're saying the winds are coming into the hallway from that small gap on the left, and then
they are going
moving
into this area. You can see winds both from your current direction and from the direction ahead, both traversing into this little gap here.
Guys, hold up. The winds of magic are flowing into a small hole on the left-hand side up here. Oh, you should be able to see it on your left.
Oh, what is the winds of magic?
Yeah, is it a little breezy? Is it a little bit windy? Or is it going to get cold? Should I need to wear
I'm not
thicker
going
clothes?
to bother explaining this to you, Simpleton. I seriously am not. But just trust me that important stuff happens around the winds of magic, okay?
Oh, there.
Oleg holds up the lantern at this point and is going to make a perception test to see what he can see inside.
Is the little man a bard? Because that is quite a tall tale.
Ooh.
Nothing. My genius is wasted here.
I thought it was funny, but I'm looking. I don't see anything. It's too dark.
Wait, Bruder, do not go alone. Firstly, let us check the corner.
Okay. You
And a sort
look
of
around the
peek
corner,
around.
and it seems to be a long corridor trailing off into darkness.
Maybe that's not the way we are supposed to go.
No, there's nothing interesting there. Just a long
Yeah.
corridor, very boring.
Okay, can I go first? Yeah.
Here's the torch.
Grimble, you can squeeze through. This is going to be a narrow gap with some loose bricks either side. So it appears to be where the wall has crumbled away a small amount, and you can basically go through sideways. So shoulder.
Oh wait, it's a wall.
This is a wall to your side.
crack in the wall.
There is
Can
a
I-
crack in the wall.
Can I sort of crack it a little bit more open?
Yeah, you can push a few of the bricks to make it a little wider, enough to more comfortably move through. The bricks are very loose in this area.
Yeah, I would
yep.
like to do that.
You will be able to move through sideways with relative ease.
Oh yeah, give me the torch.
Wait for me. Oh, this is interesting.
Rogel, there's a thingy here you might want to see.
That would be bad.
Stepping inside the room, you can see clearly in front of you another door, which currently is blackened and grey. It looks like it's been set on fire at some point, with the fire looking like it made its way halfway through the door, but no further. In front of you is also a small chest, and within the centre of the room are a number of small bones placed in a decorative star with black candles inside small holders, none of which are currently lit. In the corner of the room, something that does stand out is a nice blue scarf, which is on the floor. Stands out like a sore thumb.
Both me and Shauna try to inspect it.
Okay, you pick up the
Yeah,
scarf.
Rogel's gonna rummage the chest.
Okay, we'll do Grimwald and Shauna first. Looking at the scarf, it is blue, regal, decorative, and beautiful, and it contains the initials embroidered onto it of... Looking at my notes. FS. That is all you can see. Other than that, it just seems to be a very decorative and nice-looking scarf.
I try to sniff it. Does it smell like shit?
It smells a little bit of burning, but otherwise nothing unusual.
I would like to take it and put it in my backpack.
Yeah, I'll let you take that.
Okay. Rogel,
I'll...
this chest is currently locked with a standard sort of key mechanism of lock. Try and budge it with your hands, it won't move.
Shadow key.
Plus 10.
Mr. Leclerc, look, Rogel can open locks. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh. So, we have a minor miscast. Thanks
we
to
do.
critical successes. So let's do that first. Your ears clog with wax and you gain one deafened condition, which can only be removed by a successful heal test. Well, that's good. That's just wonderful. So what we're going to do is bring up my little list of conditions.
You are unable to hear properly. Suffer a -10 penalty on all tests involve hearing. Opponents attacking you from the side or rear gain +10 to hit. Removed.
Okay.
All right, I guess this part doesn't apply, but it says normally you'd remove a deafened condition at the end of every other round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is an exception, so you have to have someone basically take a look at your ear.
Okay.
Right. So, pinging the chest open after muttering a few words, you see inside but two objects, a dagger and a rather large skull. Looking at the dagger...
Okay.
Instantly, you recognise the dagger as having some form of magical qualities.
Okay, so now I would like to detect artifact on it, which would be an intuition check, I think.
You may do that.
Any modifiers?
No
What's it,
mods.
magic R and power?
No help from the winds here. You know that there is something very bad about this. Some form of corrupt item. It's going to have some consequences to being around it. You get the impression that it is tainted in multiple ways. You're not quite sure if it has any effects in terms of anything more than a ceremonial purpose, but it's not particularly nice to touch.
Okay,
or
so I
be around.
immediately, as soon as it's in my hand, I'm going to toss it to the side. I can't hold on to that. That's a bad call.
I'm going to ask you to make a willpower test with plus 30 as you quickly threw it away. It appears to have no effect on you. However, the moment the chest was opened, a mist within the room began slowly making its way clockwise within the chamber, sort of like a black soot. Over the course of about 10 seconds, it increases in thickness, and it appears like it's slowly enveloping the room. You can hear the sound of a howling wind as well, most unpleasant, and it appears that it's probably only going to be some 10 to 15 seconds before the room is going to be enveloped in it. What are you going to do?
Leave.
Shana would like to leave as fast as possible, considering she's prophesied to die by the northerly wind.
Yeah, I would like to leave as well, but like while running, I'm just gonna kick these bones as I feel weird about them probably, and just gonna...
Okay.
Rogel's going to take the skull with him as he flees out the room.
You're going to take the skull. Okay. It is covered in a few markings. That's all you can quickly see as you pick it up. And you start to make your way out the room. Now, after the first two of you have left, Oleg, Shauna, going last, you can hear a murmuring laughter behind you. And you can see the mist start... Oh, sorry, you can see the rocks in front of you start to shake a small amount. A few of them starting to move and reposition themselves against the wall. I'm going to ask Shauna and Oleg to make an athletics test with plus 30.
Oh boy. Here's where I die.
Blieben bluben.
Hurry up, guys.
Okay, Shauna's able to quickly squeeze through.
Yee.
Oleg as well.
Yes. Whew.
As Oleg is the last to leave, he turns around behind him to see the majority of the bricks now moving on their own to reposition themselves in this wall. There's still a small gap. He holds up the light to this and seems to gasp for a second as he sees something.
Bruder, what do you see?
Let's just see what he is going to do to react.
Oh, look, I see a very big token.
Are you looking through as well, Grimvald?
Well, no, I mean, I could just see from where I am, like, a very big token.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but is your character looking through?
Catch it.
I would have been looking through as I was watching to see if everyone made it out okay.
Yeah, anyone that's looking through, make me a cool test with minus 30.
No. I'm not
no, Rogel's looking at the skull.
Okay. Anyone that fails this is basically going to turn tail and run in terror. Seeing a orange and yellowish figure with large wings opening either side and arms crossed across its chest, open its yellow eyes with a small amount of light coming forth and look at you with a smile on its face as the last few bricks close together. And on that point, Oleg is going to waste no time. It runs back up the stairs, all the way up to the previous combat map.
Yeah.
If I drag you back over, that should now load back.
Yeah.
Oh god, brother, what is that?
I don't know, Buddha, but it's really scary.
Wait, what'd you guys see?
Something orange with big eyes and a really big smile, and I don't know, its token was too large for me, and
I saw it was yellow. It was very scary. Oh god.
Now,
Just
anyone
sort
that
of
saw this, I'm going to ask you to make a willpower test. Just a flat willpower test. To see its effect on you. And so for you, Leclerc, you could make just a flat cool check, which will be the same thing.
Oof. Yes. Holy fuck.
Yikes.
My number is not good for this.
No, it's not.
Oh, wait, didn't you just say flat willpower?
Yeah, willpower. It was the same stat for Oleg, so I just rolled that. It was easier to find.
Because my cool is much larger, but anyway, I succeed.
Yeah, it would have been a willpower check. Okay, so Oleg seems to take a little while to recover from this, and, well, I'm sorry, AC, you've got another point of corruption, buddy. He seems to take a few minutes to gather himself and shakes, murmuring to himself.
It was too big.
Buddha, ignore that thing. It is not coming after us. Hope. Wait, can we get out of the gates? And I sort of just grab my Buddha and push him like outside with the lantern.
Yep.
And we hopefully can close the gate behind us.
You can.
And sort of move away. And I'm just like, Buddha, ignore that thing.
The Rogel, as far as you can tell, this disturbance in the winds of magic seems to no longer be there. Once the gap was sealed, the flow returned to normal within this area.
Oh.
Rogel, do you know anything about the big things with yellow eyes and the big smiles?
Even if I told you anything, you wouldn't understand, so I'm not gonna bother.
Well, I sort of go over to Rogel. Tell a freaking lie to my brother!
No, he saw something genuinely scary.
I'll show you something really scary later. And they wink.
Anyway, about the skull I'm holding.
It's a human skull with a few 8-sided stars engraved into it. A few words and runes. You're not exactly sure what they say. There's definitely the language of magic is being used here, but to what effect, you're not sure.
I actually have magic language.
You do. You do. But you're not familiar with what this is trying to achieve.
Oh, okay.
You'd know it as the language of magic, but you don't know what this particular combination means or does. You would know it's bad, though.
Would there be a skill that I would need to know what this was?
Well, you can make me a language magic check just to see if you can use your intuition to kind of have a go at figuring out what this would be. Okay. You would be pretty sure that this is used to summon something.
Great.
It's something to do with conjuring. Yeah,
so is this like a catalyst or something like that? Or do I just have the vague sense of what it would be used for?
You get the impression that it would be an ingredient and a catalyst indeed. A required part for some form of conjuration.
It was probably in that chest because they hadn't used it yet, along with that dagger that I threw aside. So I'm probably going to hold on to this skull until I can find someone more strong, with more, I don't know, expertise that I could give it to them so it doesn't get used.
Okay. You can stash it away.
Stash it away. Get me one skull.
A large skull at that. Slightly larger than the average human. But not enough to call it anything monstrous. Just an oddly large human skull. Oleg is going to start walking.
I'm going to head away from there, brother.
Bruder, do you want me to go first?
Yeah. We should stop.
Okay.
It gives you
Give
the
me the lantern.
Now,
Can
at
you
this
put the
point,
token on top?
yeah, I will do.
Ah, yeah. There it is.
At this point, the area on the map that Oleg points you to, I'm currently pinging.
Bruder, this is, I think, where we are supposed to find the hole.
I sort of move up to here and extend my hand and take a peek.
You can see in front of you a collapsed pillar and a portion of the wall that has fallen away. There also...
Bruder, there's a little rat down there. Sure.
Get it away from me.
Oleg lets out
Sienna, go charge it again.
a shout.
Go away.
He's going to attempt to intimidate it.
This will be the only time he crits.
Well,
Never mind.
wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
The
There's
rat...
like a...
Yep.
As he attempts like another, no, Bruder, this is how you should do it. And I sort of release a ooga booga booga.
I will allow you to make an intimidation roll.
Any bonuses?
No bonuses.
Okay.
With acting like that, you think you get a bonus?
Well, I
Indeed.
mean,
Yeah. Oh boy. A loud roar comes from the tunnel.
roar!
Yeah, T-Rex noise. Right.
XD!
The rat seems to turn and look towards you, tilt its head, and then sort of continue nomming on something or gnawing on something on the floor.
Well, considering we don't... according to the instructions, this is where we have to go, right?
Yep, right here.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
so not right here?
Nope. Right here where the pillar is. Here, to your side, is another series of bars and another gateway. Again, another lock holding it closed. Looking through, you can see barrels and a small sort of walkway. It looks a bit like a basement. It appears that it's got a few things stashed here. Quite an industrious gate as well.
Genuine loot.
Rogal, you might use your jingle jangle and open the locks, yeah?
No, I don't want to. No.
9?
No, earlier makes me not want to do jingle jangles for you.
Okay.
Well,
Dex test with
Mr.
plus
Leclerc.
30 for Mr. Leclerc.
See, you should be more like Mr. Leclerc.
He's
Nice.
not using magic.
Oh boy!
Well, he's
Another.
doing magic with his hands.
Yeah,
Magic.
absolute wizard with a lockpick. Just simply pokes it in, gives it a little jimmy left and right. As you do, you can hear a series of scratches and squeaks the other side as the gate pings open. And this will place us in combat once again. Right, it is no one to go. So, pinging the lock open, Mr. Leclerc lets the gate swing ajar, giving you a better vantage into the room, but noticing a huge pile or swarm of rats clambering over some boxes, squeaking in his direction. At this point, Oleg is poking Mr. Leclerc in the back.
What do you see? This is very interesting.
And is
Nothing
going
good,
to
it's safe to go in.
defer his turn until later for now. Mr. Leclerc, it is you to go.
I can see some rats if you want to try shouting at them some more.
No, I'm okay, thank you.
I will take a step forward. Yeah.
Yep.
And essentially, do they react at all?
Yes, they are. As soon as they've noticed you, they are moving toward you. Looking quite aggressive. Hisses and snarls. A few probably the size of a small dog. Pretty grotesque.
Mr. Leclerc, you should probably shoot them.
How many are there?
This is basically counted as one very large mob. So it's a swarm of rats.
Okay.
There are there would be dozens and dozens there, but it's basically treated as a larger quantity of small units.
I will take a pot shot.
Okay. You will fire a crossbow into the group of them. I will give you a +20 to hit. So a crossbow shot at +20. A decent hit. 7, and that will be 8. Okay, you managed to send a shot between 2 of the larger individuals, sort of kebabbing them against the wall behind, and the rest of the group continue their movement forward toward. Grimvold, it is you to go.
I will defer my turn.
Okay, Grimvold deferring his turn until later. And it is... Why does this not put you in bloody order?
No, it does. Rogue was next.
Oh yeah, it's because I moved Oleg down, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did. 1 second, I'm just measuring. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Rogel is going to cast Etheric Armor on himself.
Okay. Go
Winds
for
of
it.
Magic still in the area, or no?
Still +10 down here. It's a little stronger than usual, but it's not behaving so weirdly. Success, +1 armor point to all hit locations.
Go ahead.
Perfect. And that's +3. So can you affect other targets with that, or is it always on self?
It says target self, but I mean, you can either. It's up to you, really. The way the rule count.
I'd say for a
works,
mage
you can-
armor spell, it will have it on you. I think otherwise, if you're casting armor on other people, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, so the overcast would just be like you can either increase like the value of it, or the range, or the number of targets, stuff like that. You choose basically as DM.
For now, you've got the armor, and it'll last as long as you need it to.
Got it.
Anything else you're doing? Any movement to have?
Actually, you know what? I could move up behind Grim. I will do that.
Okay.
And that will be it.
Okay.
Shauna has very bad experience with rats, so she's gonna move away.
Okay. It is Shauna running away. Okay. Right, and... Pow, 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 pow. Slash
You
roll
have no idea.
1d10. Oh, wow. That is lucky. Okay.
Like, you could have just gone in and shoot with the bow, and then afterwards we would have gone in first with Oleg, but never mind.
Oleg is going to go again.
Mr. Leclerc, is everything okay? Ah, boys, that's a lot of rats.
It's going to stand side by side with you and ready himself, not knowing what was there. He hasn't managed to charge this round. Grimvold, you can pick up the rest of your turn now.
Yeah, well, considering nobody will do anything, I will prepare the Fuckler and the sword and just charge in. I'm just going to casually just drop off the lantern over there.
Okay.
And can I get in a sort of position where I can hit the rats, or do I have to climb
I'm pretty
up?
sure you could move around through here. Yeah, by the side of the crates. Yeah, you could. And you could charge, make a swing, +10 for the charge.
Okay. Hand weapon, +10. Yeah.
Yep.
Boop.
Nice. That is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that is...
They don't do a counterattack?
Yes, they will. Thank you for reminding me. Kind of forgot how to play this game for a moment there. Oh, boy!
Oh,
Well done, sir. Well done. They should have had a +10 to that, which is my mistake for the swarm stat. So that's a -5 for them, but that's still pretty damn impressive. That is 18 in total. Right.
How's the whole swarm looking up, considering we can't see their status?
Yeah, it can't because the health bar's a bit messed up, but you've chunked away 2/3 of it already. It's not looking too good. Like, there's a few more rats left to swing at, but you're nearly done.
Okay.
Right, and on that note, it is the lantern to go. The lantern's going to sit there and shine brightly. Now it is the large swarm to go, who will attack you in return. Grimwald, however, you do have 2 advantage currently, so plus 20 for you, having charged.
I have +1 from defensive because the shield.
Okay, yep. An extra plus for you then, so 30 in total.
30.
A success, and a few of the rats try and climb on top of you and sort of get a good chunk out of your arm, but you're able to swipe them to one side and keep them back. Now, it is apparently Mr. Clerk's go again, which, assuming... this is a new round, which, unfortunately, for Mr. Grimwald, means you do take 1 point of damage being in contact with a swarm. Meaning, as well... you lose all advantage. Yes, it's that shit. Mr. Leclerc, it is you to go again.
I trust in my abilities to land a shot. Crossbows out. Aiming for the swarm.
Okay, aiming for the residual few attacking Grimwald, and you're not aiming for anyone in particular. You're just taking a shot.
Well, yeah, I'm aiming at the rats in general.
Because there's only 8... Okay, so you are aiming, so it'll be minus 20, but because it's a swarm, basically no bonus for shooting if you want to aim at the rats.
Damn.
A narrow miss. Very close, but a narrow miss. Now...
I just, adjust my spectacles.
Descending. Yeah, thank you. Right, there was one thing that didn't have a turn, which should have. Over there.
Guys!
And another thing that didn't have a turn. Down here. Shauna! Having ran down and away, a fairly large rat, probably the size of a poodle, comes round from beside a pillar and attempts to leap on top of you, gaining a plus 10 for the charge. Minus 4. Okay, you can make a standard attack to defend yourself.
Nothing, I presume.
No bonuses, nope. Oof! Minus 3. So you do manage to parry it, but it is a fumble. So if you want to keep it, we'll roll the fumble and see what happens.
Sure.
But you do manage to parry it. You overextend yourself, twist your ankle. You suffer a torn muscle, minor injury. This counts as a critical wound. So basically, you jump out of the way to avoid this rat that's coming in, but you have now got a torn muscle that's going to impact your ability to move for the time being. So you're no longer as nimble as you were, and it'll be a minus 10 to combat tests. But you're alive, so that's something nice. It's Oleg to go, and I accidentally just skipped him, so we'll quickly have his go. He's going to charge in to try and help against the swarm, gaining him 1 advantage. And nip over to his character sheet. It's hard work, all this rolling. Okay, a pretty decent success for him. A decent swing with the last few rats. Let's see how they do in return. No advantage for them. Minus 2, 7. Yep, that is enough to swipe through the last 3.
Bruder, I've got you.
Thank you, Bruder. And I high-five him.
Okay. And now it is Mr. Leclerc to go.
Did he already go?
Yeah, he already went.
Yes, you already took your shot. Right, so now we're on to Grimwald's second go.
So that means I would have retconned shot at rats that weren't actually there.
Actually, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, we'll retcon that. So, Mr. Leclerc to go again.
Because you didn't even hit anything in the first place.
Yeah.
We'll just pick it up here. Mr. Leclerc's go. It's fine. Blame combat tracker.
Did Rogel say it? Did Rogel say anything?
No. Oh wait, yeah. I was like, guys.
Yeah, he did.
Because you're about to have 2 scenarios. I was gonna go high 10. Those guys in front. Okay, but because he said something, I'm gonna step. I'm gonna grab the lantern since it's on me.
Yep.
And I'm gonna step outside.
Okay. Stepping out, you can see in front another horde of small furry critters heading in your direction.
And I can see Shauna fighting with one as well, right?
Yeah, you can also see Shauna just sort of picking herself up with a wrestling with a little poodle with a large, slithery, long worm-like tail.
I'm gonna take a shot at it without the bonus, so that there's no chance of me hitting her.
Okay. Because you're going to have a it will be -20 normally, but plus -10. Sorry, for your attack. That'll do. Count it as short range. 7, 8, 9. It doesn't get to dodge because of the range, and it looks pretty hurt. You managed to send a bolt through its hindquarters, and it looks hurt real bad. But still alive, being of a poodle-ish size. And Grimval to go.
Get out of there, rat magnet!
Okay, I'm just going to stumble around considering it's dark.
Rat magnet.
It's 10 yards up to here, so that's move 5. And I'm just going to 5 yards, and my move was run 16. Oh, just give me 1 second, let me redo that. I was there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to run up to here. It's another one! And I'm just going to enter a sort of defensive stance. I'll look up the rules right now.
Yep, you can do so. I believe it gives you +20 if you get attacked this turn.
Yep.
So, good job. Nicely done. Rogel, it is you to go.
Alright, 1 second, let me look at this. It was a 3. I don't know if I can do a 3. Maybe.
You're going to get +10 to your roll still. And you did...
Yeah, so I'm going to... I'm going to sidestep behind... Grimwald here, and I'm going to try and cast Entangle on the swarm on the other side of the sewer.
Okay, go right ahead. So the casting difficulty is 3?
It is, yes.
Okay, so +10 for you. Fingers crossed. Ooh. Well done. So, using magic, you entrap your target, wrapping them in whatever suits your lore, vine shadows, their own clothing. Target gains the entangled condition with a strength equal to your intelligence. So what's your intelligence at the moment?
50-something. Hold on, look.
Okay, and you did also roll pretty well, actually. So that's
51.
you rolled a 4, so you didn't get the bonus. So you get 5. So what's that? 5 entangle conditions? Oh no, a strength level for the entangle equal to your intelligence. Right. So basically, Rogel turning to one side starts muttering loudly some words toward these rats, and Grimwald, as far as you can see, some shadows creep up from the moss which the rats are currently running over and sort of drag them down onto the ground and pin them there, and they let out a few sort of awkward squeaks and squeals as they are trying to move toward, but with great difficulty. Shauna, it is now you to go.
The poodle.
You will attack the poodle. And you do currently have 1 advantage for winning the combat test against it, so +10 for yourself.
But didn't I get minus because of my injury?
You not technically, because you weren't wounded. You didn't lose any hit points. So...
I'll reroll.
Okay. Well, the rat did really badly, so if you hit it, you're fine.
Yeah.
You can probably yeet it. I believe in you.
Yeah.
You do actually hit it because it did so badly, and you do kill it, but you do still take the fumble.
Yeah.
So you do manage to slay this small rat, but You catch a part of your anatomy and unfortunately lose a wound,
Wow, self-cunt punt.
putting you down to 5.
It was hit location, body from it, yeah?
Yeah, so you managed to tear open your gut a little bit more. Ugh. It's
This would have been
Shauna
such
is
a
not
dramatic
taking
way
the
to go.
It would be, finishing off a poodle. Right, Lantern to go. Lantern is going to burn brightly. And now we have an entangled rat over here, which we're going to bring up the skill list for. Not skill list, the condition list. We're going to give it entangled. So, it may not move at all. All actions involving movement suffer -10 penalty, including grappling. Removal. It must use an action to successfully oppose strength against the source. Bloody hell. So it's got level 5. So it's going to do a strength test right now. Oh, this isn't going to go well.
It has to get an SL of 5 or higher, right? Or it has to break through 5 SL.
Yeah, it has to break through 5 SLs in total. So basically, this swarm of rats on the ground is currently wriggling and writhing, trying to break free from this, but the shadows around it pin it in place. It's unable to move. Oleg is now going to move out and...
What's going on? Oh god, there's more!
It's within 5 paces, right? Because if they're like writhing on the ground, I'm just going to take a shot at them with the crossbow.
Yeah, you can take a shot. I'd say as they're stationary and just sort of pinned to the floor there, I'm going to give you a +20. There's a big corridor full of a swarm of rats right now. That is a 7 and a 6, and they're not going to be able to dodge it, so that is going to be a sizable amount of them in but 1 crossbow bolt bite the dust. So basically the 1/3 of them has just been chunked by this, with 2 of the larger rats that formed this group disappearing. Now...
Nice shot!
Excuse me a moment.
If you want to roar at them, now's your chance.
Swarms don't take psychology tests. I remember
Now,
that.
it is Grimval to go.
Okay, is this how would you call not deep? The
It's
water?
4 foot.
Hello.
You could try and leap across with an athletics test of -20.
Would it basically? Can I just charge over there
You can...
and attack them?
Yeah, you've got range to do so. So you can quickly
Yeah,
nudge
sounds
Mr.
good.
Leclerc out the way, step around, and charge towards the swarm of rats.
So that would be a charge with +10 only.
+10 only now. Yep.
Yes!
Oh, a critical success. Right, the rats will attempt to defend themselves. And a fairly good roll, but yours was better, and you scored a critical hit as well. So you have 8, 9, 10, 11, just the 11, -3, 8. Okay, so they are pretty bad there, and we're going to do a extra one of these. So you managed to hack the legs off of one of the larger ones, an extra 3 wounds, and yeah, a few extra bite the dust. It's now you've just chunked away another 1/3 basically. I know the health bar doesn't display it, but 2/3 of them are now no more. Now it says it's Mr. Leclerc's go. He's already been, so
Yeah.
from around the corner.
The corner.
Down here.
Oh god.
6. Okay. Sprinting towards you, Grimvald. Not charging, and engulfing you. We're just going to put them there for now. They're basically... I'll do the athletics test, but they'll only need, like... Yeah, that's still fine, because sprints are fine. Sprinting around the corner comes another horde of rats, Grimvald, but again, not charging, so they don't get a round of attack on you. And it is now Rogel to go.